All right, today we've been going through some different Windows management things. Today we're going to join a computer to the domain. Let's work on that one. Hey, this is Thomas, Tom's Tech Show, and today we're continuing my kind of Windows administration, Windows setup, setting up your network, setting up all of the different components. We're going through it kind of piece by piece. So if you have one piece that you need to do, you'll just be able to go to that video instead of trying to do a whole, no big 2-3 hour videos on setting up networks, just breaking it down piece by piece. So today we're going to join a computer to our domain. We had our domain controller set up, we have our DNS set up, we have our DHCP set up, all these different things that we're going through, all these pieces. And now I have a client computer that I want to join to my domain. So you can use the administrator account to log in and join to the domain, but I don't like to do that. So we want to create a specific user just for joining computers to the domain. So let's create a user. We're going to be domain join. So that's all this computer is going to do. We're going to call it DOM join. Click next. Okay. And we're going to give it a password that is not the same password as our administrator. And boom. So now we have a domain join user. And all that, now we can come up here to the top level of our domain and we can say delegate control. So we're going to delegate control. So we're going to give our DOM join user, we're going to tell that it can join a computer to the domain. That's it. Nothing else, just join computer to the domain and say finish. Okay. So now we have a user that can join computers to the domain. So what happens on client computers, right? To make them able to log in faster, Windows will cache those credentials. So the domain controller may be slow, may be overloaded if you have a large network, and since those credentials are cached, it's just going to do a rudimentary check. Okay, I know what those credentials are. They're valid. They're not expired. So I know they're local, and I can look it up and be able to do that. The problem is that hackers and bad people can get in and pull that cache off of the computer and read it. And if that cache has your administrator password, because you've joined it to the domain and the administrator password is in that cache, then it's going to leak out and you're going to get your administrator password stolen. And that's something you don't want. Okay, so now we have that user. We're going to come here and we're going to right click this PC, go down to properties, and I have my client computer here, the computer name, domain workgroup settings, click change settings. I'm going to come here and click change the computer. I'm just going to click up here, domain, tomstechshow.com, and then it should pop up my dialog, which I can put DOM join and my password for joining the domain. Now then it will come and say, welcome to the domain. Thank you. Click OK. I'm going to click OK again. Click close, and we're going to restart the computer. Okay, now if you really want to be able to have control of this, once you have the computer joined to the domain, you can actually come in here and disable the account. So then your domain join user, no one can use it. No new computers can be joined to the domain. And when you need to use it again, you can just come and enable it, go join the computer, and then disable it. That's a little extra overhead, but it does add another level of security. Okay, so while this is rebooting, we'll just give a little pause here. Hold on. Now we're back. Okay, so we're here. We have this user here. I don't actually have, I need to create a user to log into this. So let's create a new user. I'm just going to put myself. Give me my regular password. Finish. Okay, so now we're going to click this will be logging in. Right here it's coming up and it's logging in as the local user, but I want to click other user. So now it says down here, it says sign into Tom's Tech Show. So now we're signing into the domain. And boom, there we go. Now we're joined to the domain. We're logged in at the domain. And from that, we should see some items show up in different things like DNS. Should be now client 1. Now that IP address is automatically populated into our DNS. And if I go to Active Directory computers, hit refresh, there's our client 1 computer automatically populated into our directory. So, and we should, it's going to take Windows going to take it several minutes to set this up as a user because it's the first time this new domain user's logging in. All right. Well, there we go. Now we've logged in and we've got our computer joined the domain. We've created some user accounts, one specifically for joining computers to the domain, which we can disable when we don't need to be joining anything to add security level. And we have our user that is logging into the box right now. All right, it's almost there. All right, so that's how you join something to a domain. And next we're going to start adding different things. We're going to start, locking different things down on this computer, doing other fun kind of things to it and stuff now that we have it joined to the domain, and we can start doing stuff with policy and moving policy stuff over. All right. Here we go. Okay, so there we go. That's joining a computer to a domain. You can also remove it from the domain by doing kind of the reverse steps, going and clicking workgroup, adding the workgroup. You need a user that's able to join and do the domain and remove from the domain. So if I were doing that, I would have to enable my domain join user, remove from the domain, and then go back to a workgroup. Okay, so you have any questions about that? This is pretty simple, but it's step by step. We're moving forward with our network, and we're going to get into more stuff coming up. So thanks for watching this. If you have any questions, put them down below. All the other fun YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, because there's more videos coming. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.